You know what show's really good? Penguin.
Show.
The Penguin Show. Fucking so good, guys.
So people
The
have
Penguin
actually is it actually because
what's
people
it on?
Is it
It's
part
Max.
Gotham Central? That's what I want to know. Is
No.
Is it like
So,
Gotham Central?
so they were waiting to see how this did, or like how like it came out to see if they were going to do Gotham Central, and it did so well, and like all the critics are loving it that they're like, oh, we're going to do Gotham Central.
please
now.
just do Gotham Central.
Yeah, they're going to do Gotham
like
Central.
finally.
what happens in the Penguin?
It's like The Sopranos, but in the Batman universe.
Yeah.
basically. Like
That's what everyone-
Okay.
well, imagine it's like The Sopranos meets The Godfather because
Do you have to watch the Penguin become the Penguin?
no. It's
Thank fucking God.
it's from the Penguin. Sorry, it's from Batman 1 to Batman 2. It's going to link those together.
It's like how
When
when
the
you
Reeves Batman one.
Yeah, the Christopher Reeves.
It's like
Yeah.
how when
Yeah,
you
that
when you
one.
watch The Sopranos, it's not like you're watching Tony Soprano come into power. He's been in power for a while, but like he's dealing with shit already, and you just kind of diving into their world.
Yeah, I
already.
was just wary of another like villain centric show that requires you to like see their whole deal from the beginning. And
It's almost like Matt Reeves doesn't want to make a Batman universe. He just wants to like make crime drama, and the Batman just happens to be the vehicle he's been given to make crime dramas.
Do you think I would like it? Is it good?
that's all right.
Do you like Sopranos?
Yeah.
I think you might like it.
Is
What's
it
it on?
actually as good as The Sopranos?
Is it on Max? What is it on?
It's on
What is-
Max, dude.
Oh.
They
Yeah.
curse like a storm, dude, because they can. They show it titty.
Wow, one.
Yeah. But you know what? Good on them because I think it's a they them
Mm.
person.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Non-binary.
it's a trans person.
Okay.
And
okay.
and I was like, oh, good on them.
Nice.
Good on them.
But is it as good as The Sopranos?
I mean, based off the first episode, maybe could be. They've only released
Well,
one episode.
Well, first episode of Penguin versus first episode of Sopranos.
I mean, Sopranos has aged now. I mean, so like, I think the best seasons now, like having rewatched it when we did the show,
Mhm.
I would go like, oh, like peak Sopranos, like maybe third season.
But that first
season.
episode's excellent.
I
Are
know.
there
know.
cute? Are there
I know.
cute penguins in this first pilot episode?
No penguins.
No penguins. Okay.
No.
Well, there were ducks in the other one. So
Ducklings?
yeah, the little duck family in
Mhm.
Sopranos.
Too old to be a duckling. Quack
They're
quack.
cute. They're so cute.
You know what? I fucking hate ducks. I wish we could eat them more.
We do. We
often.
can eat them. We can
I
eat
know,
them.
but
They're
like,
delicious.
People are
You have
frowned
the power,
upon.
Ricardo.
They're fucking
know.
delicious, dude. Yeah. The French knew what they were doing when
The
they
French,
were
always knew what they were doing. They created the threesome. They're eating fucking ducks, dude.
they created the three before the French.
Before
No
they're
one
like,
had ever
they're
done
like,
a
they're like,
threesome.
they're like,
yeah.
you can't, they can't, Tim.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. He's like, Pierre, you can't do it. Timothée.
So the Eiffel Tower
Oh my
is
God.
actually named after the maneuver.
You know, that's how that's how you're supposed to say Timothy Chalamet.
I know.
Yeah.
Timothée.
I heard him say that in that like weird interview or whatever. That was so
well, that
fun.
makes sense. His name is like rhymes. Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah. Timothée.
I kind of
Chalamet.
hate it.
That's a chant, dude. Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, instead of Deshi, Basara, Bas.
Yeah.
It's Timothée Chalamet.
Uh-huh.
What does it mean? Rise.
It means Timothy in French.
Yeah.
We're gonna head back
Back to the Future?
to Deep Space Nine.
This is a Star Trek podcast, by the way.
I know.
I
Is it
feel
really?
like my wires are getting crossed when we're switching between like Deep Space Nine and
Don't handle electronics then.
next next generation. Only because I think what fucked me up is Q showing up in that last fucking episode.
Yeah, and that sort of.
That fucked me
It's
up.
like, Q, get out of here. You don't belong in this show.
And Vash too.
Yeah.
Q and
Well-
Vash, right?
Well, you don't. That doesn't belong. Not only does it not belong on the show, it doesn't belong on the series. Any of the series.
yeah.
Can't
you're-
have 3 episodes in a row shitting on Q like at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me tell you this, dude.
This has become the new Darmok. Is that?
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know what I hate.
Q's
I
annoying.
don't know what I
We
hate
know.
more, dude. Darmok or fucking Q, dude.
I'd rather have Darmok. Darmok's way better than Q. Oh man.
I'd rather have what was that episode that we fucking hated with the girl who like this is like 2 episodes ago.
What?
Aquiel.
Aquafina, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd rather have Aquafina?
I'd rather watch Aquel again than a fucking Q episode. Dude.
No.
Really?
Wow.
No.
Oh, no.
Aquil's so boring.
I mean, if you cut it down to
take a
just
nap.
shots of the dog, because the dog is really cute.
Yeah, so it becomes a 15-second episode.
They should have had the dog talking, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been
Peanut butter?
crazy.
Like bow wow. And it's Snoop Dogg's
like,
voice.
like right before the
Yeah.
dog transforms, the dog goes, "You won't play with me,
Yeah.
will you?"
No, he's
and
all-
then he
he's
starts morphing.
He's all, "What's up, nephew?"
What?
He calls everybody nephew, like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
yes.
up, nephew?
Oh my god. I feel bad every time we say that we hate Aquiel.
It's fine.
That's how you say her name, right? Because it's like that's the lady's name, and it sounds like we're like.
Well, she
hating
wasn't
on her.
great either. So
She wasn't great, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's
You know,
maybe. I mean, the actor wasn't great either. I don't
you know
know.
who was great? Dax. Dax was great in this episode. Actually, it's probably Terry Farrell's best performance so far in the show.
Wait, is she related to the guy from Jane's Addiction? She also hit her bandmates.
What?
Oh my god!
So you didn't hear that?
I don't know. how that, I don't
they
know.
canceled
Is
their
it Perry?
tour.
Perry Farrell?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know
forgot
their
his
names well
name.
enough. I just
the
heard
lead
about
singer,
the incident.
the lead singer of Jane's Addiction. But by the way, I hate Jane's Addiction. The band.
Mm.
He like punched Dave Navarro, which is a guitar
Yeah.
player.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Wow.
they canceled their
Wild.
tour over
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
They ruined the world tour. That's all I know.
Why? Do you know why they
Because
got
Dave
into
Navarro's a bitch too, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Because he deserved it.
He deserved it. Let's be honest. You know
Well,
what? We're starting
It's
so
all right.
negative.
Everyone can
Yeah.
look to Liam Gallagher. He knows how to stay stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every celebrity is great today.
Yeah.
They're-
We know everything we want to know about all our favorite celebrities now.
Especially Sean Combs. That guy is in such a great
oh, he's
position
great
right now.
Yeah.
50 Cent is having a fun time.
Dude, that's why he changed his name all the time. Because
Yeah.
he's
They're
like,
alibis.
they won't know it's me if I change my name.
That
No,
wasn't
I'm
me.
Diddy.
That was
won't know
Puff
if it's-
Daddy.
It's not
Yeah.
Puffy. It's Diddy.
Yeah.
It's Puff Daddy. It's I don't know. Sean John, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck else. That was his clothing line, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wore Sean John.
I didn't.
No, I
Really?
didn't. I
Maybe it was
didn't,
a Florida thing.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
very-
not surprising.
It's definitely
Always
a
a
Florida
Florida
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Not
It's already
surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean John was it. Oh my God. Everybody. You weren't
I mean,
cool
to
if
be
you didn't wear
fair,
Sean John.
on the West Coast, there was lots of Sean John as well because
We're
of
all,
Snoop.
we
but,
were about
yeah.
FUBU, dude.
Not Koreans.
West Coast, dude.
Koreans should not. We're supposed to wear FUBU,
But they did anyway.
You're not supposed to?
Yeah,
I saw him
well,
doing
Why are
it.
you not supposed to wear FUBU?
FUBU literally stands for us by us, aka Black people. So it'd be weird for Asians to just wear FUBU.
Doesn't matter. They wore it anyway. Yeah, for us.
For
like
us,
like
by us.
Latinos are tangential, so they could, you know, but we're Asians. We're from like Cerritos, like you know,
I'm getting you a FUBU shirt.
and
That's it.
Koreatown. You know, like we weren't supposed to wear that, but you know.
Either that or K-Swiss.
Do you think? Let me
Oh,
ask you this, dude.
K-Swiss. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
shit.
okay,
I forgot about
K-Swiss.
that.
Now, this is a question. It's a two-parter. Okay,
Right.
Benjamin Sisko.
Yeah.
I said
Uh-huh.
Benjamin weirdly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Benjamin.
Ben Sisko.
Benjamin.
Is he a Tupac person or Biggie?
I feel like he's a
Ooh.
biggie.
Really, East
I
Coast?
feel like he's big. I
Ugh, I don't
feel
like
like he's
this.
East Coast because he's like into like,
No,
Which-
but Biggie
what's his-
is
what's his-
like,
no,
are
no.
you going to go with like the Sean Combs, P. Diddy
But
stuff?
but what's his
'Cause
favorite
Biggie
baseball
was in
team?
on that too.
Cisco's favorite.
or Wu Tang?
baseball
Wu Tang
team.
East Coast.
Okay,
I would say Wu-Tang.
So Cisco's favorite baseball team was the San Francisco Giants. So he's West Coast. So he's Tupac.
West Coast.
So he's
yeah,
Tupac.
dude.
So he's
Okay.
Tupac.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
settles it.
Apparently, his fucking son is a Braves fan.
Fuck-
So they
Fuck
fight.
Daddy and fuck Bad Boy Records.
Yeah.
Dude, Tupac was right, dude. When he
Yeah.
was dissing fucking Puff Daddy in that song.
Oh
He's
yeah.
totally right, dude.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, what about Picard?
Well, Picard, he doesn't watch American sports.
He's all about Grandmaster Flash.
Picard.
He's a purist
Yeah.
when it comes to rap.
Vanilla
Definitely.
Ice.
Vanilla Ice. I like that guy. It sounds like a delicious treat.
He's probably into like French jazz or something.
He's like Eminem's the greatest rapper ever.
Definitely. Oh my God.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I derailed us enough.
Well, Dax, the episode about Dax and also Dax first aired on February 13th of 1993. I believe it's time for us to go into the wormhole or around the sun.
Right. So actually, I've said in a previous episode that I didn't miss anything, but I did miss something. I missed a movie. On February 5th, which is like a weekend and some change ago, there's a National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 released in theaters. And the reason why I bring it up, it's one of those genre parodies that's, based on Lethal Weapon and all that. But I bring it up because William Shatner was in it, as well as Whoopi Goldberg in a cameo. So you can look that up as a contemporary Star Trek thingy.
I don't remember that. What is that called again? I've never heard of this.
Loaded Weapon 1. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that movie.
It actually starred Emilio Estevez and Sam L. Jackson as the two main leads, standing in for like the Riggs and Murtaugh types.
Yeah, I've definitely never heard of this movie. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But barring that, the big release of recent days on the 12th was Groundhog Day. Harold Ramis and Bill Murray, the drill. Sometimes I refer to it as the first Undertale.
It's a movie that so many other movies and stories just borrow from over and over and over.
Yeah, but I mean, it's always a time loop story is always such a good story.
But it's not just a time loop. It's a time loop where he starts slowly going crazy. And that's
but
kind
also
of like
getting better at everything.
Yeah.
It's a really fun movie. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Yeah.
Coming up next, Michael Jackson kept on making headlines. This was Michael Jackson time, very firmly Michael Jackson.
Oh
time.
yeah.
This time, it was his very first televised interview since 1979 with Oprah at Neverland Ranch, an interview that was watched by 90 million people without the help of the internet.
Oh
yeah, pretty crazy.
That's a pretty well-known interview, yeah.
Yeah, that was also the interview where he famously said where, he hasn't been lightening his skin, he has vitiligo.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had vertigo, he said?
Yep, vertigo, very dizzy and lightning.
Yeah.
The whole time. Fall to the floor, bleached white.
Here's my take on Michael Jackson. He's got like 2 good records, and then they're all meh.
You already said this. Your hot take's cold now.
No, it's lukewarm now.
But yeah, I agree. I agreed last time as well.
Right?
Yeah, I agreed last time as well. Yeah.
That's a fair take, honestly.
Yeah.
And my last bit. On the 11th of February, Bill Clinton, then president, appointed the very first woman attorney general. Who can remember who that was?
Janet Reno.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep. You got
Nice.
him.
Yeah. Will Ferrell herself.
Yeah.
And then he left SNL to.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's speaking of SNL, recent departure, also from a week or two ago, as of this date, was Dana Carvey.
Oh, really?
Dana Carvey officially left SNL recently.
Did he leave or did they fire him?
I don't know, but it was just his last appearance as a regular cast member. So
okay,
that's fine.
I've always preferred Mad TV over SNL.
What?
Oh yeah,
I did
too.
By a large margin.
Oh my god.
Oh, Ricardo.
SNL I find downright boring.
Yeah.
Okay, it really depends on the era you're talking about.
Era. Yeah.
It really depends on the era you're talking about.
Yeah. You probably had a better era.
Even when I watch classic SNL that people say, oh, this is the funny shit, when Will Ferrell was on and what's his name, Norm Macdonald and shit. I would watch. I'd be like, it's fine. It's like I'm watching the Tonight Show version of a sketch comedy show. It's fine.
Mad TV was so much better. At least when I was growing up, I
anyone who
Mad
wants
TV.
to enter this debate can cherry pick any number of sketches that showcase something smarter or dumber than the competitors' examples.
Pepperboy with Adam Sandler, dude.
No, fuck all of Adam Sandler's characters in SNL are so fucking stupid.
No.
They're all like a stupid idiot named Boy. That's all of his characters on SNL. And that's the thing. I think because of the way they come up with skits, a lot of SNL skits are kind of, especially when they are centered around a character, kind of just repeat the same joke over and over again.
You're describing Mad TV. You're describing Mad TV. You're describing Stewart. You're describing Stewart.
Did that shit all the time.
Okay.
Man.
I know, but they had other skits where you're like,
dude,
it gets.
That's all they did. You would tune in every week because you're like, okay, they got to do Stewart. They got to do the Asian lady. Remember?
The Asian
Okay,
the Asian lady.
I'm not saying those are great because I actually like.
I like Will Sasso a lot.
Yeah, Will Sasso was one of the
great.
super highlights of the show.
Yeah.
I think by the time Bobby Lee joined, Mad TV ended up being not very good anymore.
Bobby Lee.
Wow,
yeah, he was not the greatest, but yeah.
I think Bobby Lee was one of the weaker points of Mad TV. Like when they first started with fucking voice actor man who's in everything. He was also an extra in Spider. Yeah, Phil Lamar. Yeah, extra in Spider-Man 2. Starting from Phil Lamar.
I love Phil Lamar.
Yeah, till
Phil Lamar's great.
Yeah. It was all. What's the super tall guy? What's his name? Fucking forget his name.
Guy.
He's
Yummy?
a stop. He's a stop guy in
Michael McDonald.
Oh, Michael McDonald.
Yeah, Michael McDonald's also great.
Love him. Love him as well.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Stewart. Yeah.
Well, I actually thought Stewart was his weakest sketch, but in general, I thought he was really funny.
Yeah.
Pat Kilbane.
There was a bunch of people from that era. Pat Kilbane, Aries Spears.
Oh, Aries Spears.
Mo Collins, Deborah Wilson.
Deborah
Wilson was my favorite.
Yeah.
Nicole Sullivan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
she's great.
The impressionist guy, he was great.
Who?
The guy who did all the impressions really well.
But Frank Caliendo?
Yeah, Frank Caliendo.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was post Bobby Lee though.
I know, he was one of the highlights after Bobby Lee came in.
Okay, I do like him. He's really good.
There was a lot of people during Bobby Lee that were pretty good, like Ike Barinholtz.
Oh yeah. I just feel like Bobby Lee was sort of the start of come up with stupid phrase as joke, and that's the whole show.
I mean, that was how they used him. That's how they used Bobby Lee.
What was his phrase? Hold on.
Oh, hot dog. That was all he did.
That's the best thing. Dude.
That's all
this
he
is
did.
Newbie Mad TV.
Oh,
hot dog.
All right, how about we do a whist on Mad TV? Let's do that.
My gosh, that's what it was.
To that other podcast.
I wonder if he gets mad if people yell that at him nowadays.
I don't know. It kind of made his whole career, so he can't be mad at it. Like,
I think nowadays he's on like a podcast or 2 or 3 or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
One of those,
it'd be great
do podcasts.
It'd be great if the podcast was called Podcast.
We can't be dismissive of people doing podcasts, okay? We totally cannot be those people.
We cannot be those people. Everyone has a podcast these days. Come on.
It's cheaper than therapy, to be honest.
Yeah,
it is.
That's true.
I haven't spent a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, everyone knows I just lay it all out there.
And I'm all better.
Everything's fixed. All right. Well,
that was it, though.
Oh my God, we have come out of the wormhole still intact and ready.
God, we're 18 minutes in
to look at our sponsors. Look, we can do it fast through ExpressVPN.
Timote.
Because ExpressVPN is not only a super fast VPN, it's also super reliable. Let me see if I can do this without looking at my talking points. I've been doing ExpressVPN spots for so long. Damn, I already forgot the number of countries. 106 countries.
169 now.
Yeah, where ExpressVPN is available, or actually that you can spoof yourself as. It works well with streaming services, and it's got the keys password manager, and it's even got an ad blocker built in. All this cool ass shit, and also it's one of the most actually secure VPNs out there. There's been tons of third-party audits for ExpressVPN. Governments have tried to subpoena them. They've always found nothing because they are true to their word when they say they have no connection logs and no recordings. None of that shit. They don't do that. They truly care about consumer privacy.
They went to the servers and all they found was a guy, and he said, "Oh, hot dog."
It's fucking Bobby Lee in the server room. They hired me because I
deleting the logs.
All right. Well, if you guys want to get ExpressVPN, you can always just go over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 12 months, they'll give you 3 months for free. And if you're not sure, there's always their 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can sign up, try it out for 30 days. And if you don't like it, you can just send it back. Get your money back. So again, it's expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 12 months, they'll give you 3 months for free. Next sponsor is the one that I don't know well, so I will have to look at their talking points. But I do know of CBD products very well. This one's from House of Wise. House of Wise is a luxury CBD brand that offers a range of products designed to help individuals create intentional, purposeful daily routines that allow them to achieve greater results from their sleep, or for managing their stress, for strength, and for libido. It's actually useful for that too. And they have a wide range of CBD products, including gummies, chocolates, candles, and even pre-rolls. It's already built in for you. And all their products are cruelty-free, and House of Wise itself is a woman-owned business.
Yeah, they don't make monkeys fucking smoke the fucking weed, dude.
Well, they do actually do animal testing for CBD products when they want to test levels.
Just get them fucking high as shit, dude.
Yeah.
I bet you those animals are like, we're in. No, we're in on this thing, dude.
Give me my gummies. But yeah, if you guys want to check,
give me my gummies and fucking go get me some Jack in the Box.
If you guys want to check that out, just head on over to houseofwise.co/newbie Star Trek with Newbie Star Trek in all caps, or you could just go to houseofwise.co and use our promo code Newbie Star Trek, again in all caps, to get 10% off your entire order, which is a pretty dang good deal, and free shipping on any order over $69. So
yeah, dude.
head on over to houseofwise.co/newbie Star Trek and use our offer code Newbie Star Trek for 10% off your entire order. You know who was probably super into CBD?
Ricardo, could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
You blew past those fucking reads, dude.
I'm
You're
trying.
in a hurry, dude.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying.
All right, boys and girls and they, them. This episode, I didn't hate. I could have. There's a lot of things to hate about it. But
really interesting.
I don't know. I didn't like this dude that came in fucking all hot trying to kidnap people. Didn't even follow protocol. Like,
I find that okay. So to me, this follows the usual like pattern with Star Trek for me, which is if it's a courtroom drama, Star Trek is immediately better. And I really like this episode. So
what was the last episode we did for these? Or what was the last episode last week?
We did Face of the Enemy.
Okay, we liked that one, right? I can't
Yeah, that was the one where Deanna was dressed like forced into Romulan face. So,
that's
Rom
right.
face.
Yeah.
Okay,
and that was quite good.
Thing. Some of them like they're so good that like I fear that like we're like, oh, this is how it's gonna be from now on. Like just in this.
Oh, you think it'll become the new norm?
Yeah, and then like you watch the thing, you're like, it's just okay.
You know, people brought that up when we started DS9 because it started off so hot and awesome, and then people were like, "Oh, there's some misses coming up," and they wondered how we would react. So,
well, I think it's reached a point where people now have no idea what we'll like.
People have no idea what we'll like.
Yeah,
we're unpredictable.
They've stopped trying to predict it because they'll be like, "Oh, they're gonna love fucking Q-less," and then we all did not like it. So
yeah,
you know, like,
hated it. So this episode it starts off. Let's get through the synopsis and get to the nitty gritty. So like, there's what's her face? Fuck,
Dax.
Dax. That's
the name of the episode.
Dax. So Dax committed a crime pre-Dax, right?
Well, so Dax
pre-Jadzia. Dax is the constant.
It's so confusing.
So Dax is the name of the symbiont, which is why it remains.
Okay, let's go Venom. So Venom is Dax, right?
Yes. You could say that. Yeah.
And then the person
Eddie Brock is Jadzia or Curzon.
Oh, got it. Okay, so Eddie Brock killed somebody.
So Peter Parker killed somebody, and Eddie Brock is being charged now.
So I get it now. So the last name is always Dax. So Curzon Dax.
Yes.
Jadzia Dax. So that's how they're kind of doing it.
So who's this lady again?
Her name is Jadzia.
Jadzia. Got it.
And before it was a super old man that kind of looked like Saw named Curzon.
Looked like Saw.
Isn't his name Saw or Jigsaw?
His name's little Saw baby. No, his name's Kramer. Something Kramer. John
Little
Kramer.
Saw Mills. That's his name.
That was so random.
I did the wrong. I hit the wrong button on my.
That wasn't from Saw.
Yeah. So I get it now. This makes more sense to me. I gotta start watching this episode sober.
Were you just confused the whole episode?
Yeah. I'm like, who the fuck is Jadzia?
Wait, hold on. This might be the first instance we've been able to detect so far where Ricardo doesn't like it because he just didn't understand what happened.
This makes so much sense now.
Oh my god! In real time, you're understanding.
Although I do think one thing they could have done to make it like super clear visually for an audience, because this is
Marvin. I want to say this before I lose my train of thought, dude. The fact that we cleared it up with Venom, that's what made me go like, oh my god, dude.
Well, okay. So to me, I feel like, you know how at the beginning in Emissary we had one shot showing the Dax being transferred from Curzon to Jadzia, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
I feel like we could have had one flashback shot of Curzon, or like did we see like a picture?
Just even one. No, they didn't even show one visual.
No, I think we did. I think we had one picture. We show Curzon standing with the wife. I think in a
I don't
picture.
recall that. What are you talking
Really?
about?
I feel like we saw that.
I have no idea what Curzon looks like.
Where is that?
I feel like there is a picture of Curzon.
Curzon Herzog?
Werner Curzon.
Yeah,
Werner Curzon.
Yeah, I feel like I saw a picture of Curzon with his wife.
Jadzia sounds like something you lose.
All right, I'll take your word for it, but
you lose your honor.
They definitely could have done a little more to like help remember, like just remind people that Curzon is a completely different dude, or what he looks like.
My bad for getting really high when I watch this episode. But it makes sense. But like, I kind of saw this coming, dude. The whole like her having an affair. So
I see.
So just
Really?
yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude.
How did you see that coming? Because I didn't see it coming.
Oh, you.
Well, so here's the thing.
You can't see
No.
that.
So here's the thing.
I
I think for a lot of people who are watching Star Trek, they also would not have seen it coming, because I think this is the first time we've seen very directly in a Star Trek show where a character is just like not a great person in a way. You know, like Curzon did something that was considered like very dishonorable explicitly, and is like could be considered like a bad thing to do in that character.
Oh,
so I don't think
wait.
The affair?
What thing? What thing? Having the affair?
Yeah.
Okay, let's back it up, dude.
Yeah,
dude. That lady's husband is a fucking murderer.
No. I mean, we don't know that yet. So in the context of the show,
he's not a murderer. Sorry, he's a traitor.
Well, he was attempting to murder a bunch of people too by giving away info. So, then like, I think in the context of Star Trek, where everyone's supposed to be like exemplars of like, especially the good guys, you know, as a Starfleet
we kind of
officers.
talked about this as like, I don't judge people for having affairs, because like you never know what someone's like.
People in the 90s definitely would have.
No, but I know, but like we kind of talked about this.
Look
where
at the
like
president, dude. Look at Clinton, dude.
Yeah.
Are you okay with Clinton?
I don't care what he did. I don't care. I mean, I care that he took advantage of someone. I care more about less the affair part and the extramarital, affair part, and less that he was in a position of power and
more that he was in a position of power.
Yeah, that bothers me more than what actually happened. Like that bothers me more, the power dynamic and abusing that rather than getting a blowjob or whatever the fuck he got.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. And it ruined her life and also how he handled it afterwards, like Monica Lewinsky and all that. And like that is what bothers me. The actual affair part doesn't bother me, because we kind of talked when Marvin and I were watching this episode, when it came out that like her husband was kind of like a shitty person, we kind of thought about like, how many heroes do we know these days that were like actually kind of really shitty people in their normal day life, like Gandhi or like, whatever.
Mother Teresa.
Yeah. Like there's so many people that it has like actually come out that like
Kid Rock, dude.
Kid Rock. Yeah. He's a big one. He
used to be my hero.
Yeah.
How the great have fallen.
That are just like pieces of shit. So then it's like, oh, okay, can we really?
Well, it's funny. We were talking about celebrities earlier, and all of them.
Well, okay,
Hulk Hogan, yes, that's a good one.
You know what's
he had an affair too.
He did.
Yeah, like also an affair.
It's on
most
tape
recent, another recent affair-based thing. Dave Grohl.
Yeah,
Dave Grohl. Yes. Okay, that's a
everyone
a great
thought he was super wholesome,
right?
and like
now
never did
I feel a little
wrong.
bad for my my dig at him about the barbecue thing being a cover-up. Because he feels guilty.
It turns out you were right. It turns out you were right. He was trying. The barbecues were a cover up for fucking on the side. It was all
what barbecues?
Oh,
there's always like posts about Dave Grohl coming out with like a smoker and feeding a bunch of homeless people with a bunch of meat
with the barbecue and stuff. Yeah, that's right.
He was trying to find ladies.
Yeah, it was actually his way of picking up chicks.
Yeah.
And to atone at the same time.
Yeah, he probably felt super bad, right? Yeah. But like this was kind of like having an affair doesn't bother me, because I'm always like, you do you. Like if you gotta like, I mean, it's shitty, but like don't like. I'd rather people not have an affair, like break up or be honest with the person, of course. But like,
but it's in the realm of personal matter. Not,
it's in the realm of like that's your business. It doesn't make you inherently a bad person, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, and especially in the context of like political martyrdom and whatnot, like it has nothing to do with their political beliefs.
This is just like a Johnny Cash song called "Long Black Veil."
Yes.
Where you know what I'm talking about? The song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one that goes, I fell into a long black veil.
That's dude. You got honey in your voice, dude. Where like
every
oh my God.
The song is a ghost of the dead dude saying this lady comes and mourns me because I was accused of a crime and I wouldn't reveal that I was like having an affair with my best friend's wife. Right. So they put me to death.
Literally this episode. Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. That's what this is.
So that's really what this is. We just kind of unfold it here. We don't here's a few things.
Yeah.
It's a courtroom drama, but really what it's about Venom, Peter Parker Venom, having an affair with this lady who her husband turns out to be a traitor, and his wife turns out to be having an affair with Venom, and then his son turns out to be this dude who's prosecuting this thing,
right?
Who's now prosecuting Eddie Brock and wants to kill Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
and the symbiote Venom is the piece that remembers Peter Parker's stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
and so like, for me, it wasn't like the best fucking episode, but it was entertaining because it was a little soap opera ish for me, you know, like. But again, I could tell from the beginning when like you realize like, oh, like I had a wife, and I'm like, the only way this works out is if the wife killed him because they're having an affair.
Wow.
So I just missed it by a little bit.
What is your tell? Because I'm like, I didn't see that coming really at all.
Well, there was like 3 different options, and that was like the most common sense one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I liked this episode for sure. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty solid episode, actually.
Yeah.
I too also agree with Marvin that Star Trek does procedurals pretty well, and this is one of the better ones, in my opinion. I love the Miss Arbiter or
the Arbiter judge.
Anyone recognize the Arbiter lady?
She came back, right? She came back. Wasn't she on before?
Yeah, she was.
I thought I recognized her.
The Mystery of a Man judge, right? Or the
Nope. She wasn't a judge before.
She
played a completely different character on TNG.
What was it?
Really?
I forgot. Yeah.
She played Rick Astley's wife.
Oh, the Dowd's wife. Yes.
Yeah, the Dowd's dead wife who wasn't actually there.
Yeah.
You're right, dude.
Yeah.
But she looks familiar.
She looked like a lot like that old lady that was accusing somebody. Picard or somebody.
Drumhead lady.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought maybe it was her.
Yeah. I was profiling.
She reminded me of the lady from the Titanic.
Well, she has that voice. It's been 82 years.
This lady's a great character actress. She's been in everyone. She was in Miss Doubtfire. Remember, she was a social worker in Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She's like 1 number 2. He's like,
okay.
one.
Wow. Okay.
I
mean, she did really well.
I think it's hilarious how she introduces herself as like, all right, I'm 100 years old. I don't have all day.
Yeah.
But you're going to take a 2-hour recess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to get back by supper. And I'm like, 2 hours?
Well, you know, it was the start. They started at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So supper would be 14 hours later.
Fine. At first, I thought that like she was so sassy up front that I thought they were like trying to do a riff off of Judge Judy. But I was like, wait a minute, 93 wasn't too early.
Yeah.
Judge
maybe People's Court. People's Court might have been a thing
thought
already.
Maybe that, but I wasn't too familiar with how sassy the judges were on that show. So
yeah.
Maybe.
I think one of the more fascinating parts of the episode is that they also, one, like we were saying before, DS9 is obviously doing a thing where they're trying to give each character their own spotlight episode. So this one's obviously Dax's spotlight episode, but also outside of the character and exploration of both Jadzia and Curzon Dax, it's also an exploration of how Trill work and what their society is like. Because there was always these nagging questions about like, wait, who are these hosts? Why would they agree to this? Why? How does this work? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but it's clear that it's a departure from what it was when they were first introduced.
Oh yeah, because that was way less interesting. So this is a way more interesting interpretation.
They changed it.
Yeah, they kind of needed to do this just to make sure everyone knew what the new rules were.
Yeah.
And we should say that like Venom Eddie Brock didn't want to like testify. She was basically like, I'll go and like they could kill me. I don't give a shit, because she was protecting the lover. So just like
the honor of the lover.
What honor, dude? The honor of cheating on.
Well, she didn't want to embarrass her, or Dax would rather remain quiet than bring to light this affair.
But it was also
that would make her look bad.
It was also trying to preserve the martyrdom of the general. So they were trying to make sure.
And they did. Yeah,
because it was her friend.
They did basically. They were like they solved the case without solving it. Basically, they were like, well, whoever you're looking for isn't Venom, because Venom was fucking the lady at that exact time, and we don't know who killed him or who sent out that message, but it wasn't Venom.
Yeah,
and they protected the reputation. But by the way, I would have just ratted him out. I've been like, this guy's a traitor. He's a piece of shit.
He's dead.
Yeah, he fucks couches. I just make up stories.
He fucks couches.
Yeah.
Well, I think
he
Curzon,
watches dolphin porn.
I think Curzon also being the ambassador was also of the mind of, hey, this legend gave this society stability. It's the Lisa Simpson Hans Sprungfeld episode, like
very much so.
Yeah, it's like, is it worth telling the truth, or is it worth preserving a legend that keeps a society together? To
be fair, he did protect, or the Venom and the lady, they protected the son by not tarnishing the you're right, not tarnishing the legacy.
Yeah.
Well, it's revealed eventually.
But also not getting 2 L's. You know what I mean? Because he got an L because like literally his mom had an affair, dude. Well, no, actually that would have been 3 L's, dude. First L is that he loses the whole case. Like it just falls in his, like he just dissolves, dude. Right in his hands, dude.
Right.
And he's like, turns out you had the wrong guy, you're an idiot, and you're a piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
1. 2, your mom reveals that she had an affair to everybody, dude, in front of that room, dude.
Yeah.
And she
not just that, but to your accused.
Yeah.
I mean, I get he's angry, but his reaction to her is so shit, because she like tries to reach out to him and he like recoils. He's like, ugh. It's like, it's still your mom. Jesus. Like
the one thing I got wrong was I honestly thought that he was going to be his son.
Well, they joke about that in the episode.
They do say that.
Yeah. I think it's Sisko who's the one who's like, what? Is he also your son? Like, that
would have been fucking crazy.
That would have been a big old loss, dude.
That also would have made like it more complicated by saying, hey, Jadzia's your dad too.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of interesting, actually. That would have been an interesting like set of
like, is that why I have a little worm?
Yeah. What do you even a little worm?
Little worm?
I don't know.
No,
probably not.
No, I thought you were talking about his dick.
No. I was talking about a venom.
Talking about Trill offspring here.
I mean, I think it is pretty traumatic to hear that, a Trill was inside of your mom the moment your dad died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty hard to hear.
Yeah,
why specifically a Trill? Why is that so?
I mean, a Trill, a penis,
You're
a
being
man. I don't know.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Dude.
That's true.
Okay, a penis, I guess. I mean, that's hard. That's hard to hear that the moment your dad
You're equating
died.
all Trills to penises? Oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
Well, in this instance, she literally says Dax could not have killed your dad because he was in ... my vagina.
No, bed.
AKA my bed.
I said bed. They could have been reading each other's stories.
Yeah, they could have been cuddling.
They could have been cuddling. They could have just been. They could have been pillow talking.
Remember when Bruce Lee died in that hotel room, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they were just discussing the script." But he was like naked. Oh, he was tired. He was been filming all day, and he just was just laying down to take a nap. You know.
David Carradine, he loved just playing with rope before bed. And,
he tripped and fucking fell on that fucking closet fucking hanger thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's dangerous out there.
It's crazy that they were like, okay, let's preserve him dying from autoerotic asphyxiation.
That's
as
wild.
much. Let's preserve that as much as possible, so we can definitely tell everybody.
Here's the thing. I get that there's reports and they got to do all this thing, but you know what? If I'm there, dude, if I'm the person who finds him,
over this,
the bellboy, dude, give him some goddamn honor, dude.
Did
give
we
him
say
some goddamn honor. Just say he killed himself. He hung himself.
Yeah, just say, it looks like he killed himself.
Put his pants on, dude.
Put a gi on him.
Yeah, put the gi on and put him on his bed. He died with fucking honor, dude. He was doing his kata and
See, look at y'all. Look at y'all all on the side of covering up history.
Oh my God. That's honorable.
See, you are no better than any of these characters.
That's true. That's true.
Put the key on.
But this episode, I thought this episode was great. I really,
the hotel guy's like, he had no geese. All he has were dildos.
Yeah, there was no clothing in the room whatsoever. We had
how many hundreds of dildos?
Thousands.
Lots of baby oil.
Just baby oil everywhere.
No, all he had were the gi belts. He's like,
oh
my God.
And that's what he was hung with.
Yeah,
oh no.
God damn it, dude. Give him some honor, dude. But anyway.
But I like the way it started. This cool action scene. Miles is just gone.
Yeah, he's on vacation. He's on PTO.
Was the actor actually on vacation? They're like,
he probably was.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. I think Call Me.
Well, they still managed to blame his absence on Keiko.
Yeah. Which is
no matter what, it's Keiko's fault. Yeah,
so like Keiko's mom.
Keiko and her fucking 100-year-old mom.
Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. I've been saying it for goddamn fucking I don't know how many times, dude. You think people in this world, like this lady that's 100 and she's arbiter, she should have retired, dude. She did a good job.
She did a great job in this.
Though.
Yeah, she was good.
Enjoy your fucking time, dude.
But she's an alien.
Do this, dude.
They have different timetables than humans, so I think that's fine.
I stand by my statement, dude.
Yeah, I think 100 is a long time for anybody or any place.
Klingons live to 150, so being like 70.
Yeah, and then once I hit 100, I don't want to do it anymore.
I said it once and I'll say it again, dude. If I die and the doctor's like, oh, he had the body, he had the insides of a man half his age, it'll be a waste, dude. I want people when I die, the doctor go, I don't know how this guy was alive. I don't know
how he made it this long.
Yeah, how?
It's a miracle. Yeah. I mean, this episode really does bring up a lot of moral questions, and I like that we see a lot more about Sisko's relationship with Curzon and how
he's torn up about it.
Yeah, no, and I love how hard Sisko is my type of person. Like he goes hard for the people he loves, and like that's me to my core. He was kind of
willing to break rules.
He was like, "Oh, if you found this, no, you didn't. If you heard this, no, you didn't." Yeah, he's willing to go hard.
He was like, if you find evidence of past Trill symbiotes being responsible for certain crimes, forget you saw that. And it's like, dude.
He said, let me see it, but forget you saw it.
No, he course correct. He basically saw like, no, let me see it, because then like I could prepare for that to be
right. But he was like to the point though where he's kind of like, I'm not interested.
He was acting like a lawyer. He was I want to know everything that could incriminate us, but like we're not going to advertise anything we know.
But he even like tells Odo and team to be like, assume he is innocent. It wasn't like find evidence. It was like assume he's innocent.
Yeah,
which is not the way you do an investigation. Yeah.
He's like, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
I mean, but that's my type of person.
By the way, is OJ dead?
Yeah,
OJ die?
Did he die?
I think he's dead, right?
Did they bury him in a white Bronco?
He just died recently. No,
they should have, dude.
I think it was recent.
They should have put him in a white Bronco and lit it on fire.
They were selling. I know they were selling the white Bronco. I think.
Yeah, he did. OJB did. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just trying to say that Sisko is my type of person. I am Sisko in this situation. Like I go hard for the people I love and like and respect. So
I tell people
totally
I love that they're pieces of shit sometimes. When they're pieces of shit.
No, I will defend you, and I'm like a ride or die person. So
I don't. I want you to tell me if I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I don't like. That's
Marvin hates this about me, that I'm a ride or die person.
Well, I just think a full ride or die is also dangerous because
I know it's dangerous. I know it's dangerous. I'm willing to help you, do shady shit. Let's do it. If I like you, let's go.
I prefer a support system where people will tell me if I'm straying from the wrong path or not.
Yeah.
I don't want someone to always support me. I want someone to tell me,
no, I'm
wait, dude, calm down. That's not okay.
I want hard love.
No, I'm supportive.
If you know what I mean.
I'm not great. Yeah.
I'm not great.
I'm not great. I will support you in your bad habits. I'm a ride or die person. You kill someone? Okay, let's figure this out. Let's lay out
Sarah,
the evidence.
Do you want to shoot some heroin after this recording?
Let's go. Yeah. Let's fucking go.
Finally.
I'll help you. Let's do this. Let's go.
Yeah, you'll hold a spoon for me.
Don't get any bubbles in there or you'll die.
Yeah. I'm about it. But for real, I am this type of person. Like Sisko, I see myself in Sisko. If I was in that position, that's exactly how I would act. And I like that we know that Curzon was that. I didn't realize how formative Curzon was to Sisko until this episode.
Father figure for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they were like good friends, but I didn't realize that Curzon taught him like everything he knows, that they fucked together, learned together, father figure fathers who fuck together. I don't know, but
it's like really tight bros.
Yeah,
it's like JFK's dad, JFK's
I guess so,
dad.
yeah.
Just like Robert Downey Jr.'s dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good episode. Look,
I have a question though. So one of the things is the conclusion of the whole trial is that basically the trial is stopped. Like they don't conclude the trial because
it's a hearing.
It is a hearing.
That's the other thing. I like that it was a hearing.
It's a congressional hearing.
I think this was a good way to let them have it be more conversational. Which, if it was like a formal trial thing, it could have ended up being like a bit more like tight and like difficult to get across more of the emotional aspects of it. But the informal hearing setting made it really good in order to get a lot of points across.
Yeah.
So they don't actually solve the question, unlike Measure of a Man, where they do solve the question of no, Data must be given sentience and autonomy. Because so Data must be given autonomy because we cannot 100% confirm he is not sentient, and as such, if we did not give him autonomy, we are potentially becoming slavers. So we must.
But this isn't a trial. They were literally just seeing if the warrant was valid or invalid. That's it.
But that hinged on whether they came to the conclusion of our past Trill hosts responsible for, or our current Trill hosts responsible as past Trill hosts.
No, I don't think so. I think the warrant was, can we take this person out of this thing for this crime? And basically they were like, well, there's no crime because he was a finger banging this lady. You know what I mean? But
the thing is, if that didn't come to pass, how do you think they should have ruled?
It was a mistrial, dude.
Well, they're asking a bigger question here.
Yeah.
Like the whole point is, our Trill, even though Dax is in there and he's the constant in these hosts, can Dax be held responsible for sharing a crime with a past host?
So who banged this lady? Was it Venom or was it Peter Parker?
It's 50-50.
It was half of Venom. It was half of Eddie Brock.
Okay.
So which still counts for something, but to me, I've always been on Sisko's side on this. I do not believe
they should chop one of her hand like arms.
Well,
off.
that's what he didn't he say that, and he's like, split her fucking open, take the worm out.
The did like the King Solomon glib thing.
Yeah,
it's like just split him in half. It's fine. And
take
then
out
like,
the
of
fucking
course
worm.
You can't do that.
I have a question. Can you put another worm in there?
No, without completely changing everything about everything.
Well, the worm is different.
Wait, removing the worm kills Jadzia now.
Yes, I think what happens.
No, just like really fast, like swap. Boom.
No, they die right away.
Jones.
Yeah. They die right away. So
it's in a bag. They put one worm in the bag, another worm, and then just. Yeah.
It's not recoverable. Yeah. So the symbionts can survive.
We don't know this, dude.
No, that's how it works.
No, he explained this. What's his name? So. The medical guy said that you can't separate them at any point.
And having seen the previous surgeries, we can tell the symbiont, at least on its own, will survive for a bit, but the host will die almost immediately. So that's sort of why they have to
I fully personally agree. I do not believe that you can be held responsible for past hosts. It's a flawed system though, because like, yeah, what if Dax is like this? What if Dax was this like crazy serial killer?
Serial killer, yeah,
exactly.
And just like kept switching host when it was most opportune to evade being.
Well, this is what you do when they're gonna put him in a different body. You hit him with the hammer, the worm, boom.
Yeah, you just take the worm.
Put some salt onto that shit, dude.
Put some salt on it. It shrivels up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good question, one that I don't really have the answer to, other than my personal feelings are that, like, no, you can't, because of the arguments they made that Jadzia did earn all of these degrees. Her body and mind are still partially involved here, so we can't really condemn her if 50% of her did the crime,
I agree with you. I say it's case by case basis.
I don't think it can be case by case though, because then you could. What makes one case different from the other? It's always.
I just like saying case by case.
If your host is someone shitty, then maybe we'll be like, they can both go. It's fine.
The only thing I could think of is if somehow the through line of all Daxes had a history of being really shitty, like as a person.
But then the innocent host 50% would still go down, and that's not right either.
But like the other guy said, though, the host accepted the responsibility of it already.
What if they didn't know?
I have a proposal.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let Jadzia live out her entire life, and when it would normally be time for a Trill to transfer, do not allow it.
Yeah.
Throw some salt on it.
Send him back, dude.
Well, doesn't that allow a Trill to kind of get away with it for one more lifetime?
For a while, but
one more lifetime, but at least it won't transfer to the next without like impeding upon the right to life that Jadzia herself had.
Yeah.
It's a compromise.
Let her bang.
I guess, because sometimes incarceration is also to protect the general public. Like, again, what if this is a serial killer, Dax? And
we were just...
Well, then that would come down to like the trial of like, okay, when was the crime committed? Is the current host going to do it again?
In this case, 30 years ago. In this case, no.
What if Dax had a pattern of killing at once with every new host? Just once.
Well, if they can determine one killing, then you stop right there.
All right.
Or you stop at the next, regen.
Okay.
Like as soon as you discover the problem, you stop it. You'll be late, but at least you stop it.
Okay. All right. Well, there's also the idea of, they have this other culture that they're trying to extradite to has a death penalty. And that's its whole bag
of worms. This is assuming that there is a death penalty involved.
That's another bag of worms. If you know
also,
what I mean.
they are allies with they're allies with the Cardassians, so they happened to also know all this shit about Deep Space Nine as a base, which lets
that was the whole reason the hearing took place in the first place.
Yeah. So
they had spies, dude.
Yeah,
and
so
spies. They had the inside track. Speaking of switching, here's my idea, dude, for the presidency of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
whoever gets elected as president to the United States, as a rule, we should ratify the Constitution, so they have to live in the shittiest fucking city in the country. And they can't fly in their doctors. They can't fly. They have to go.
They have
local
to do
doctors,
Medicaid,
local. Yeah, local,
everything. Yep.
Logos only, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
All politicians.
Yeah,
that should apply to every state.
Yeah,
everything's work from home, Zoomsies, but you got to live in your fucking state and your city, dude.
Yep.
No.
See you later, bros.
And you got to live on the median salary range of the area that you're representing.
Yeah, dude. And everybody's got to eat Taco Bell.
I'm for it. I'm 100% for it.
Wait, so what brought about this proposal?
I don't know, dude. I just had
half the time the president doesn't even like live in the fucking White House. So dude.
No golfing. You can do a sport for funsies, but one that like we have during the general election, we're like, what sport should the president be allowed to do for funsies? And we're like, bocce ball. I don't know. Something stupid,
What?
I don't know.
All right.
What's that? Well, what's that? The disc golf one?
Oh, disc golf.
Disc golf.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Frisbee golf.
They can't call it frisbee golf.
They can't.
It's called disc golf. I don't that sport confuses me. It's
Why?
weird.
You just throw a disc towards a goal.
I don't like
That's
it.
it.
It's a golf ball with a frisbee.
I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it's
I
just
don't
target
know.
practice with a frisbee.
Yeah.
I guess what really bugs me is every person I've ever met who plays that is not a good person.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fair.
well, that's just the pattern.
So
of
it's
okay.
now it's made
unfortunate
me
behavior.
feel
Would
that
you,
I don't like it.
What about? Yeah,
They're
I'm
just
just gonna
bad
flow this
people.
theory. You know a lot of bad people.
I do know a lot of bad people. Yeah.
She is from Florida.
Yeah,
so-
I'm
that's true.
from Florida.
Oof.
Come on.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
explains a lot. I'm gonna give this a 7.5. You know, like
Dang. All
I'm
right.
going to be honest. I thought you would like this more than you do. I don't know why.
yeah, like
I think if he grasped the Venom thing from the beginning,
Yeah.
it would have been a little higher.
Hey.
You know
This
what?
would be a different
I
conversation.
would honestly give this a 9
I knew you were going to say 9. I knew that.
because there's a few things. I like the general premise a lot. I think
Yeah.
courtroom drama style episodes for Star Trek always go really well, but there's two other things. Oh, actually, it's one primary thing. That's Terry Farrell's overall performance in this
Who's Terry
episode.
Farrell?
Who plays Dax? Jadzia
Oh, okay.
Dax. She got a huge upgrade. Like she brought her A game and really upgraded in this episode.
Well,
in
they
my
gave her
opinion.
some good lines, dude.
Well,
That
that's the
actually
thing.
gave her things to do.
Yeah,
But here's the thing. She barely has any lines in the episode. Most of the
That's true.
episode, she's not
Mhm.
talking. The few scenes she does have where she does talk, she is excellent. And it's against Avery Brooks, where we saw in the beginning of the series, whenever you had a scene with Avery Brooks and Terry Farrell together, Terry was actually kind of intimidated by him. So their scenes ended up really awkward. And they admitted it. Like they said they had like their own little private practice sessions to try to like work it out, etc. By the time they reached Dax, that one scene Avery Brooks has with Terry in her private quarters, and they're reminiscing about versions of Dax and how Curzon did really love the wife, etc., and all that. That's all really good and really well done. And I really like Terry Farrell's performance in there. And I really do also like her final interaction with the wife at the end, to the point where I think her, like the way she interacts the wife, I can feel the emotion of her as Curzon.
I can feel the sexual tension.
Yeah, there's like actually a bit of like chemistry there, even
I
though
thought
it's
they were going to make out.
yeah,
I was ready
it's
for them to be like,
yeah, even though it's like an older lady and a younger lady, you could still feel the idea of Jadzia still embodying Curzon, sort of meeting his old flame again. And I just thought that came across really well. It was a really good performance episode.
I think the old lady would have been into it if Dax was like,
She might have.
I'm
That's the thing.
down. If you're down, you know what I mean? And old lady would have been like, yeah, okay,
I think I want to also credit a bit more to the episode's writing as well, because all of the dialogue and pretty much all the dialogue surrounding Jadzia's like silence is compelling, and like setting up the silence to play well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's definitely written very well
'Cause
too. Yeah.
staying silent would also be like the really boring acting in other scenes that don't respond well to silence.
yeah.
It's justified for sure. It
Just
pays
like the
off.
show. Just like the show. Did you give a score?
Me?
Me?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Well, everybody.
So, well, Marvin gave a 9.
Marvin,
I really liked it.
And
yourself?
Sarah, what'd you give? Sarah? You gave a score, right?
I didn't give a
No,
story, but
no,
I'm going to go with a 9
9.
as well.
Yeah.
I agree. I really enjoyed this episode. Again, for all the reasons Marvin stated, the acting has significantly improved between Sisko and Dax.
Like she actually holds her own against Avery Brooks, who is kind of a weird actor. And like you could feel like they're actually on equal footing, at least for this scene. Like, it works really
and
well.
I feel like I could really see that he was desperately trying to connect with Curzon through Jadzia. Like he
Mhm.
was like talking to him, to the worm, being like,
Mhm.
bro, I know you're in there. It's me. Fucking tell me what's going on. Like, you're like my dad.
I also think it's a very interesting like quandary they have to sort of dive more deep in. They touched on this in an earlier episode, but in this episode, you really see his struggle with like, you're like used to be my best friend, and now you're a stranger, and it's not your fault. It's a matter of circumstance. but I just don't know you anymore,
or
like,
I don't know you like that anymore.
Yeah, and that's also really fascinating. It's like
we recast my friend,
but he's still ride or die for that friend, even though he doesn't know that friend that well.
Yeah, it's like you still are my friend, but you've been recast, and I don't know this new cast member yet.
I'm trying to think if there's like a human equivalence of an experience that we would go through that maybe would be similar.
It's like watching Fresh Prince and watching the Ant actor change, and you go, what the fuck happened to that actor, Aunt Vivian? And then they change actors to like 2 or 3 seasons in, and you're like, what the fuck happened there? You don't know that character anymore.
My dumb kid ass didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
I didn't notice till college either. Yeah.
I mean, but it does bring up a really good moral point of the Trill and them committing crimes and changing hosts. And I do wonder if they're setting us up for that to come up again at some point. Also, I was a little disappointed by her Trill representative that came over and was like totally testifying against her. I was like, fuck you, bro. Like, who the fuck are you?
He's just providing facts.
I know, but I was just like, he just seems so like...
This is your ride or die acting up.
He just seemed, it is my ride or die acting up. Because I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck what you're saying. Like,
But he was being so objective. He was saying, no, that's not how that works. I just want to tell you how it works. This is how it works.
Meanwhile, Jadzia's over there just staring like, yep, that's how it works.
Yeah. But he just had this like weird fucking smirk on his face. Come on. Like, you guys saw it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
You are projecting so hard.
Stop. No, he did. No, he was totally like,
no, he had this gaunt expression the whole time.
No, fuck him.
I agree with the projection theory.
Fuck him. I don't like him. But I thought it was interesting that the Trill sent a representative, and I don't know. I feel like we're learning so much more about these species.
Yeah, so they
never thought we'd see again. But
they essentially raise humans or people who look like humans to be hosts. Their society revolves around this.
Yeah, their society has like a big exam or like competition.
Yeah,
like
and it's an incredible honor. Apparently,
it's kind of nuts. Like,
which is crazy because like I would never want to be volunteered
because that in itself
host.
feels like a moral quandary, right? Are these like essentially like a second class citizen that they can then use as a harvest pool?
I mean, that sounds like a question for another episode.
It certainly feels that way. It feels like the worms are more first class than the actual hosts.
Yeah, it definitely does. It feels like they've like basically...
Have they hinted at all at like the total overall lifespan of a Trill symbiont?
I think it's based on the body. So I think the body lasts about as long as a regular human.
But I mean, the symbiont clearly continues on. I'm talking about the symbiont alone.
Oh, the
How long
symbiont
does that
itself.
last?
Thousands of years.
I don't know. I feel like it could go forever, maybe, until you throw some salt on it, like Ricardo suggested.
Because I feel like that would have big implications for their society as a whole, depending on how long that is.
Apparently, they can live beyond 550 years.
Oh, God.
And how many Trill like symbionts are there to provide to hosts? What's the ratio, I wonder?
I don't know. I don't know what stock they have to choose from.
Trill experts in the comments.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
What's also interesting is they wait. The Trill don't embed themselves into children or anything like that. Because that would be fucking weird.
Yeah.
But they wait for them to like grow up, have a personality, because it's supposed to be a collaboration.
Right.
And that's
like
what goes toward. Yeah, like a mixtape.
I wonder if there's like an interview process, like you were assigned.
He did. It seems like it's a very intense process.
If it's anything like putting yourself up to like a sperm bank or like
the doctor's gonna put his sperm in there.
Well, I was wondering if there was a process of like she met Curzon and like talked to Curzon and was like, so what do you think about me? Would you
I actually thought that was implied that it's a very intense process, that they chose her and it was a conversation and very much a choice and based on her background, her awards, her merits.
Did they say that though? Or are you assuming?
It seems like that's what they said. She says very clearly, I was trained and chosen for this position for Curzon.
Well, I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know if she's chosen specifically for Curzon or if she was chosen to be a host in general.
Yeah.
And it's from a pool of people they choose hosts.
Yeah.
So
I feel like they would choose it, not like randomize, like, oh, you get to pick from this pool.
I'm not sure.
But we should deep dive into this.
I mean, maybe it'll be exposed later, but I feel like if I'm gonna collaborate with someone for the next like 80 to 90 years or whatever, however long they're gonna live, I would to talk to them and
let God take the wheel, dude.
You know, like don't just put me in anyone. What if you fucking put me in JD Vance's body or something? Like, I don't want that.
Because part of me thinks it's like,
I don't want to fuck couches.
Do like the symbionts? They kind of go like, next time I want to be a girl. I want her to be brunette. You know,
I
like
feel
big
like
tits.
they do.
He's like brunette, big tits, and it's like they're like, sir, you can't do that, dude. You can't say that. You can't pick them like that, dude.
Or can the host also kind of have a say, like the host, like the host qualifies and the host like meets the next potential symbiont, and do they talk? Do they get to like, you know, that would be nice. That would be the nice way to do it.
I feel like they do, but that's me just assuming.
Part of me can't help but wonder if it's like a subjugation thing, like they actually have all the control, the symbionts, and they're.
I would be interested to know in the comments if these topics you're bringing up right now are ever addressed in the show, and I don't care to know how they're addressed. I just want to know if they are.
Also in the comments, hit us up. Do you think that he was guilty or not guilty? You know,
what do you mean?
Yeah, let us know if you feel like if Dax should have been, you know,
if Dax was the one who dropped a dime on this dude.
Like, you have to assume first that he actually did commit the murder when he didn't actually.
Should Eddie Brock be tried?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean if are they considered guilty for the previous crime?
Yeah, like more like a hypothetical situation. If a Trill,
can you be held responsible for your previous life's crimes? Yeah.
If I actually do want to know what people think about that, please do let us know. I personally think no. But it's a complicated issue. But I'm leaning to no.
Take this with a grain of salt because Sarah is from Florida. So
I am from Florida, and I'm a ride or die person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a ride or die person. I will ride or die on that hill for sure.
Yeah, it's a really tough question that I think they knew because how tough it is. They didn't answer the question in the episode.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 9. Dan, did you give your score?
No, he hasn't given a score yet. Yeah.
I want to know. What Dan's score?
I would give it an 8.5 myself.
Ooh.
See? Yeah, dude. Did I
mean, that's what I had written down before any of us started talking.
Did I say 8.5 or
you
7.5?
You said 7.5. Yeah.
Okay, I stand by that.
But bits I'll bother bringing up now is I like the Arbiter's little meatball gavel.
Yeah, it's a fun little detail.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that because like that easily just roll off the desk, dude.
Well, that's why it's in a little
I like
cradle.
it because of how stupid and unwieldy it is. Because it's clear that if she lets go of it for a second, everything's over.
Yeah,
everything's over.
Everything's over.
If that hits the ground, it's an A-bomb, dude.
If that gavel falls off the table, that's her ass. She was
like, you saw how it was kind of like cracked up on the surface. It's ready to explode.
Yeah.
Also, we saw Julian being a woman chaser at the beginning again.
Oh my gosh, we have to talk about that.
Oh, and it's the first introduction of Klingon coffee, which will be a running theme throughout the show. Klingon coffee.
Okay. So there's Klingon coffee there, and
why is he so? He's so creepy.
He wants Dax.
Like the writers in every single episode.
And then Jadzia's like, don't come to my room. It's not necessary. It's like, not necessary isn't, like restricted. And he's like, oh, geez, you're just gonna invite yourself to a room now, you idiot.
Yeah,
but luckily she's being kidnapped, and then he throws hands like nobody's business.
Yeah,
he just runs in and starts beating the shit out of people. It was kind of funny.
He just yelled, and his name was John Cena, and then just started hitting. He just yelled.
But why do the writers always do this? They did this to Geordi, the Broccoli.
You got to have a pervert in the show. It's fine. Let him be a pervert. As long as he's not as bad as Geordi.
What's funny is that even during that confrontation with the kidnappers, he gets distracted because when the hood comes off and it's a lady.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I don't want to punch a lady. She's kind of hot.
But then even Sisko doesn't want to punch a lady.
Oh my god, that was
hilarious. If you weren't a woman.
I fucking love that.
That's
I
why
love that line.
you hit first.
You know how they kept on framing Jadzia like across from Sisko with like the shelves and stuff? I was like, is this a prison cell or not?
Yeah,
and then it was like, oh, okay, she's just in a room and they're just talking across shelves for some stupid reason.
It's symbolism. They're separated in terms of their ideals. That's why.
I didn't care for that.
I don't know. But
I don't care for symbolism.
But I will say that in retrospect, I do like watching like Terry Farrell's performance, like in the context of understanding that in her mind, she is not actually Curzon, but can remember, like, has those feelings and stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so she's
it's great.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like keeping that in mind. Everything you see her do in every situation feels very like, oh, that makes a lot of sense for her to be acting this way right now.
It's a very complicated,
it is
very role to try to embody, and I think she pulled it off really well. Like she was clearly thinking about it a lot, and then she got it across really, really well.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of this performance.
Yes. And finally, I will close off by giving a shout out to my favorite character, Odo, because he's continuing to be Batman, and I'm fine with that.
Oh man, yeah,
he's just being Batman.
Yeah, he is totally. He got into full Detective Odo mode this episode.
Yeah, Sisko just sicked him on the case, and he was like, "Just go find out what happened." He's like, "Okay,
he's like,
I'll do it."
It would be nice if an investigator went to the planet.
Like every report he comes back with is just good information,
just gold. Yeah, this solves the case. This will help solve it more.
Yeah, he's just so competent. I love him.
Yeah, Odo's definitely someone you want on your team for sure.
Yeah. One last thing. In Dax's quarters in her room, there's actually a prop from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark in there. There's a fertility idol prop that's just in there. It's actually from the movie.
Yeah, like Ricardo was saying, just replace the Trill real fast.
Yeah.
So,
just like that idol.
It's just in there for some reason.
Bag of sand.
But yeah, that
Very
was
replace the
odd.
Trill with a bag of sand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or a larger slug.
Good.
Put a lobster in instead,
No, a slug filled with sand.
But that was Dax. I liked that we had mixed opinions on it. I think it's interesting that it's not all, we don't all synchronize here. We don't do that here on Newbie Star Trek. Thanks for listening.
We all have our own individual thought worms inside of us.
Yeah,
You know,
some of the worms are Floridian.
Yeah.
Some are Korean American. Some are Mexican American.
Yep.
And
Some of us got that Floridian worms.
Mexican American.
Like, I guess one like little thought I just had is that I like how they imply that if it had not been Jadzia as this host, that they may have been behaving completely differently during this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Oh, if it wasn't a sexy, hot young woman?
Like if it wasn't Jadzia in this position and like another host with Dax inside, they might have acted completely differently with the memories and feelings from Dax.
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to say that it's because she's a hot young woman?
Well, it's because she's Jadzia, not necessarily because she is hot and young and a woman, but just because she is herself. She's a
like
unique
in what way? Like, what do you mean? Like her merits, her education, her experience, her looks, her personality. Like what?
Everything that she was before she joined with Dax as a host informed how she processed Dax's memories and feelings when joined.
And I think there's also an implication, like Sisko says it out loud. Curzon was not the typical Trill. He did not act reserved. He was a ladies' man. He was an adulterer. He loved getting drunk. He loved getting into fights. Yeah. So I think he had. And
I guess it's worth pointing out when they say he wasn't the typical Trill, Curzon wasn't the typical host.
Yeah, I think that's what they mean. So I think that combined with, it seems like probably Jadzia before the joining was probably like a bookworm and like a straight arrow, probably did everything by the book. And then suddenly she's combined with the Dax, who had this previous life as Curzon, who was wild and crazy and did all this weird ass shit. And now her old personality, we're assuming was like more straight arrow because she had to go through this whole process to like qualify, right? That seems like it's really
don't they all have to? Don't all hosts have to go through this process and be at the top of their game?
Presumably, but Curzon might have, just been able to do so whilst being a reckless dude.
But Curzon was a Starfleet officer, right?
Well, they'll also, I don't want to spoil anything, but sometimes you can't always have a host that you want because of circumstances. Sometimes there's an emergency.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got
to get shoved in a Riker and fuck Beverly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one time where they need a new host right away and they had no choice. So that was one. So sometimes it isn't always the perfect ideal candidate that they are put into. I think it's sort of implied that Curzon wasn't always the perfect host.
Sometimes you get put into, what's his name? The guy who got the worm in the brain? RFK.
Oh,
I mean, that's him.
Yeah.
He had the worm in the brain, right?
Yeah. He also ate.
Well, they were already dead.
Likely story.
All right. That was Dax. So thanks for listening, everybody. If you guys like what you listened to, like our discussion, you can give us always a like or a rating or a thumbs up wherever you are. If you're listening to the audio version of this, I hope you're listening well because we just switched hosting servers. I hope everything went smoothly. Hopefully it did and you are listening to this. But if you're on YouTube, hey, thanks for watching us on YouTube. While you're on YouTube, you can join the channel, become a member, get early access to new episodes, at least a week early, depending on how fast I can render them out. And also, those episodes are YouTube ad-free, and we're planning to do a few other things. Oh, right now, there is a Discord, members-only Discord, you can become a part of, which has been a lot of fun. A lot of active members in there. Yeah, a lot going on. And there's a few other things we're cooking up, but it's going to take a little while to figure out. And also, if you guys want to find other ways to support us, you can also head out and check out our merch store, fugitiveframes.store. We have 2 t-shirts up right now. There's one more new design I kind of want to put up, but I'm conferring with John Velas, the artist who did the YouTube animations. So we're figuring some stuff out there. Also trying to figure out like a hoodie situation for the winter that's coming up. So trying to figure out a design for that. And also, if you guys ever want to send us an email, you can always email us at contact@newbiestartrek.com. That's contact@newbiestartrek.com. This week's email is from Garrison, and Garrison's email is titled The Gravity Effect. Hi all, just listened to your podcast about the TNG episode Reunion, and I have some information that you may have already gotten, in which case feel free to disregard, as well as a question. This was the episode that introduced Worf's son, Alexander, who was definitely not 1 year old. According to Star Trek D20 Fandom Wiki, so do with this what you will, at the age of 1, Klingons look similar to a human child of 4, and around the age of 8, they begin the Klingon version of puberty. Although they mature significantly quicker than humans, their life expectancy is still longer, reaching old age around 150. Damn. So I can accept this as the reason why Alexander looks old for a 1 year old. But my question to you is, do you think that the effect of gravity on people in the show makes them age more quickly than everyone on the Enterprise or other ships? Someone who is closer to gravity is moving faster through time than someone further away from it. This is illustrated well in the Doctor Who episode World Enough and Time. I think it would be
to gravity.
Yeah, so the higher, the deeper you are in a strong gravity well, the faster time, the faster time moves for you relative to everyone else. Like in Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Interstellar was actually like a pretty good mainstream adaptation of that concept. I think it would be really interesting if Star Trek explored that effect. So for example, the next time we see someone's family, like Worf's or Picard's, that have spent a lot of time on a planet while the crew is on a starship warping everywhere, they are much older than we expect them to be. I also think warping would have an effect on aging, though I'm not certain. Maybe all of these factors played a role in making Alexander look older, or maybe Star Trek has solved these problems in the future. What do you think? I hope all is well and you are enjoying Deep Space Nine, Garrison. So from what I understand, Star Trek just ignores this.
Yeah.
It would be far too difficult to try to plan out like timelines in that sort of way when you just need to get to a new planet to start a story.
I mean, to be fair, one of the reasons why it's easy to ignore is that almost everything that we meet lives on a Class M planet, right? Which is like a habitable planet.
Yeah.
And part of being a habitable planet is having a certain level of acceptable gravity. And you need like a massive massive difference in quality to have time move at a significantly faster rate. Like it can't be like even like Jupiter or Saturn would not be enough gravity. You would need like
it's interesting to me that gravity was like the main thrust of the question here, because like how variable is the gravity that the crew of the Enterprise is experiencing on a given basis?
I mean, for example, if they get close enough to a black hole, that would be enough to affect. But you can then circumvent that by saying they're in a warp bubble. And a warp bubble is not supposed to be affected by things outside of it.
And not only that, but I mean, it's like if they were constantly at the mercy of like variable gravity, then they would be like, it would be like a different version of sea legs, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you'd constantly being affected by varying levels of gravity. However, I think that wouldn't be the case because only on the docking bay does it have a warning for variable gravity.
Yeah. Otherwise, everywhere it just has the same.
So I'd say that so long as you're inside of the Enterprise, gravity is constant for you.
Yeah. But if you have to work in the cargo bay,
artificial gravity.
You know, you're just constantly getting older or younger.
Yeah, so maybe you can mess around with that a little bit if it really matters that much. I don't know how much the gravity would affect your age.
I mean, it's not enough to like again, it has to be like near the level of like a black hole.
Yeah, like I always thought it was like extreme levels that are, you know, they're already tearing you apart before they do anything else to you.
Yeah, but it is true that it can like I think something like Saturn, for example, or Jupiter. Correct me if I'm wrong, people who know science better than I do. But I think if you lived, let's say, in the gravitational well of Jupiter your whole life versus on Earth, I think you probably would live like a month longer. I don't think it would be like that much longer. You know,
I don't know about that.
I don't know if it's like that different in terms. I think there's technically a clock desync, but I don't think it's enough to like completely change the way you live your life versus your family, you know, who lives on a different planet.
Maybe.
I mean, granted, this is like the sort of accumulated effect that they were positing happens over the course of like months and years or whatever.
No, I meant like throughout the course of your life, you would gain like a month.
I'm talking about like back to the email when they're talking about like, you know, after however long you would meet up with someone you haven't seen in a long time and, you know, they wouldn't have aged the same rate you thought they did. And it's assuming periods of time in between. Like
my whole thought on this is that the Star Trek writers and team executives did not care to think about that at all because it's way too complicated.
It'd be really hard. You know, it's interesting. The reason I found this fascinating as a question was one of Dan and I's favorite game, Outer Wilds. The head developer, Alex Beecham, the game director for Outer Wilds, actually said they did consider trying to figure out time dilation mechanics based on gravity. Because that game does have a version of like actual active gravity from planets as you explore them, and different planets have different gravity levels. So they did want to play with the idea of, well, if you're on a heavier planet, you have more time. If you're on a lighter planet, you have less time, etc. But they said that was too difficult to coordinate throughout the game. But they were entertaining the idea. But that would have been interesting.
Well, there you go. One more example of why it's too hard.
Yeah.
Too hard. Send it back.
But interesting thing to think about, Garrison. Thank you for the email. Yeah.
Thank you, Garrison.
Thank you.
Maybe one day society will have to think about that more seriously in a real way.
Maybe.
We'll be dead by then.
I intend to be dead. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be long dead.
Don't cry for me because I'm already dead.
But maybe my worm will be carried on to somebody else.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. If you like the stuff we do, head on over to fugitiveframes.com. We have links to everything we do, including, by the time this episode comes out, I think a new episode of Would You Stay Tuned? And it shouldn't be a spoiler because it should already be out, but Sarah, Dan, and I did a discussion of Pluto, the Netflix exclusive anime that is sort of a reimagining of Astro Boy. So that was interesting. That was an interesting, hefty discussion.
It was a really fun discussion. So I definitely recommend checking out our other podcast. Would you stay tuned? It's fun.
Yeah. And we're planning to do a few more episodes of that as well. We're going to keep WIST going. Would you stay tuned going? But for us, for Newbie Star Trek, next time we'll be going back to TNG and we're going to be watching Tapestry.
Okay.
That's all I'll say about it. We're watching Tapestry. All right.
Sounds rich.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time for Tapestry. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.